Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, and freaks of nature of all ages. My name is Reverend Brian Bad Hippie Jackson, and welcome to my channel.
Alrighty then. Ooh, we got a treat for you today. My son came over, and we cleaned up the backyard a bit, and we tore down that play set. Unfortunately, we didn't think about getting the camcorder to do a time lapse while we were breaking down the play set. So we didn't time lapse that one, but now that we're going to set the yurt up, I'll go ahead and show you what we did, and we're going to time lapse setting up the yurt. All right, remember that big old play set that was here? There it is, or there's most of it. There's the climbing wall and bits and pieces and rails, and then over here we got the remainder of it. Still got to finish taking it apart, but there's plenty of good salvageable hardware on this thing, and there's plenty of lumber to work with to be able to build other stuff later on when we need it. So we're just going to find a place to set this camera up, set up the time lapse. Say hi, Adrian. Yeah, set up the time lapse, and we'll get that yurt set up.
It's too early.
Okay, so the camcorder died the other day after me and my son got the tent set up, but that's it right there. That's what it looks like. Now I am going to take it down again. I know, again, because there was a bit of a misunderstanding, which is why it got set up in the first place. But this does give me a good opportunity to kind of let you guys see exactly how big it actually is. We've got a full kitchen table with the leaf in it in here, 4 chairs, 2 end tables, and a box of videotapes, and room to sit around the table. So yeah, it's nice and roomy. But the mistake that happened was that my son thought that I needed the tent set up so that I would have a place to store my excess stuff, which I don't. And I thought he needed the tent set up so that he would have a place to store his excess stuff, which he didn't. So we don't need the tent set up. The tables and stuff in there is really, I don't care about it. It's been in storage for years. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to take the tent down. I'm not going to time lapse that. You've seen enough of that already. I'm going to put this back on the charger, and then we're going to come out here and we're going to start taking some of this stuff apart. And that I am going to time lapse. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get the rest of this lumber from the set torn down and into individual pieces and stacked neatly out of the way so that we have resources for other things later. Alright, so I'll be back out in a little bit to finish this off. Alright, so let's go take a look at what I've done in the yard the past couple of days, why don't we? Kind of keep stuff kind of secret. Got this gate mostly fixed too. Doesn't shut all the way. Got all this back here cleaned up. Now, the big stack of trash is still a big stack of trash, but in between the fence, I've got a nice walkable area. There's no more broken glass. I can actually get in here without having to wear shoes or moccasins and not worry about it. Oh, that was a sticker. Now over here is where I set up my fire pit and all that kind of good stuff. So, and then what we got going on here is a 5-gallon bucket full of water with a scooper. Figure that's a good thing to have by a fire pit. The ash can, which is where all the used ashes go. A good cook pit there. Barbecue grill that needs to be emptied, cleaned. But a good cook pit, and that should be big enough that I can fit a Dutch oven in it once I get my Dutch oven. And then over here we got all of the basic cooking utensils. That's a cooler bucket. It's got foam in it, but I'm not using it for anything right now. I even have a couple of trash cans out here. There's one there, and there's one there. So we got all the tools moved and up against this wall. All the firewood, charcoal moved and up here. Extras. All my hardware for that play set is in this fucker. Speaking of the play set, there it is along the wall. Just the different bits and pieces. Wash tub, in case it gets too hot and you need to clean off. And then over there, I'm using that for storage. My laundry bucket, wash bucket. And this is where I sit. And I think it looks pretty good. I think it looks pretty damn awesome. I think I still need to get these rocks raked up a little bit more and get some of the more sticky stuff out of them, but for the most part, it's, yeah, it feels good. It feels good. I like it. But yeah, a little bit more cleaning to do back here, and I'm styling. Plenty of space for people to sit and set their drinks. I'm going to get me a couple of tiki torches with citronella oil, and then we're going to put the forge right over there. So we'll have the cook station here, the forge there, tool and work tables there for other stuff. We can use that for eating or for a work table. This is going to be really nice back here. This is going to turn into a really, really good experimental homestead.